Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive.
It is great to be here for this one.
Yeah, but before we really get going, I just want to ask you a quick favor. Please make sure to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
Definitely do that, yeah.
So imagine this. You engineer literally the most impenetrable defense in World Cup history. You bring that exact system to a new club, you get them to these massive tournament finals, and then the local fans and media just tell you that you've, well, ruined their team.
Which is just wild to think about.
Right. But that is exactly the complex reality for Jacques Nienaber right now. I mean, the 2023 World Cup winning head coach is over in Dublin prepping Leinster for the URC final against the Bulls at Croke Park. But suddenly, his future is surrounded by all this intense, really heated speculation.
Oh, absolutely.
So today, we are going to explore this unexpected friction in Ireland. And more importantly, we're looking at the highly positive, really exciting potential of a tactical homecoming to Rassie Erasmus's Springboks.
Yeah, and I think framing this correctly right from the start is just, it's vital. People throw the word crisis around way too easily with this stuff.
Oh, for sure. Everything's a crisis nowadays.
Exactly. But that is entirely the wrong lens.
Yeah.
We're looking at a really fascinating crossroads of world-class coaching methods here.
Yeah.
It's not a negative thing.
No, not
It's
at
an
all.
opportunity to really appreciate Nienaber's absolute tactical genius. It's really a story about environmental alignment, finding where a brilliant rugby mind fits best within the global ecosystem.
Yeah, where he can actually maximize his impact. So let's unpack the Dublin situation first, because, on paper, it looks totally stable. He's contracted to Leinster for another season.
Right.
But he's openly raised some pretty serious doubts about whether he's actually going to be there for the 2026-27 campaign. And this all kind of boiled over in that explosive press conference with the Irish writer, Ruaidhrí O'Connor.
Yeah, the deal with the devil column.
Right, exactly. O'Connor wrote this really provocative piece claiming Leinster basically made a deal with the devil by bringing Nienaber in, which is just such a heavy phrase.
It really is. And, Nienaber's response to that specific phrase was incredibly transparent. He just frankly said he doesn't feel valued by the wider province.
Yeah, just put it right out there.
He did.
Yeah.
And he laid out this uncompromising philosophy.
Yeah.
Basically, the moment a coach loses the team or loses the fan base, they have to go.
So he's not just going to stick around to collect a paycheck.
Exactly. He made it abundantly clear he's not that type of guy. If the environment rejects his methods, he leaves. And he pointed to his track record, right? 2 European finals, a semifinal, deep URC runs.
The results are literally undeniable.
They are. But that feeling of being wanted by the wider ecosystem is just, well, it's fractured.
Right, so the players are probably fully bought in, ready to run through brick walls for him, but the fans in the stands are rejecting, the aesthetics of how they're winning.
That's a great way to put it.
It's kind of like, okay, imagine you own this really traditional, well-regarded restaurant,
Yeah,
right?
I'm with you.
And you want to elevate it. You want to win global awards. So you hire this world-renowned Michelin star chef to completely revamp the kitchen. And suddenly, you're getting nominated for the biggest culinary prizes in Europe.
But the regulars aren't happy.
Exactly. The people who've eaten there for a decade start complaining that the food doesn't taste like the old menu. They completely ignore the Michelin stars hanging on the wall.
That is a perfect analogy. The chef is objectively succeeding at the highest level, but the local palate is just rejecting the method.
Yeah, they want their old comfort food back.
Right. And to understand why those regulars are complaining, we really have to look at the actual on-field tactics. Nienaber didn't just bring a new playbook to Dublin.
No, it was a total culture shock.
Exactly. He brought a fundamental shift in rugby philosophy that clashes directly with Leinster's historical DNA.
Because Leinster's whole identity has always been that free-flowing attack, right? Keeping the ball in hand, those intricate loop plays off the fly half. Just beautiful, expansive rugby.
Yeah, that sweeping movement is what the fans expect every weekend. And then you introduce Nienaber's hyper-pragmatic, pressure-based defense. We call it an aggressive rush defense. But mechanically, think of it as a closing vice.
Okay, a closing vice.
Yeah, because traditionally, defenders drift sideways toward the touchline, using the sideline as an extra defender, right? Just waiting for a mistake.
Right, soaking up the pressure.
But Nienaber's system does the exact opposite. His defensive line shoots up vertically with terrifying speed right in the center. It actively cuts off the pass to the edges.
Oh, wow, so it just sucks all the oxygen out of the room.
Exactly. It forces the opposition fly half to make these complex decisions in fractions of a second under immense physical pressure. And he usually forces the play back inside, right into the heaviest, most dominant tacklers.
Which means the players have to be in an insane physical condition. Like you're not absorbing pressure, you're actively attacking the opposition without the ball.
Right. It's designed to completely choke the attack, force knock-ons, and win the ball in dangerous areas. But that turns the game into a grinding, physical trench war.
And the Leinster fans are just not used to watching their team suffocate opponents. They want the dancing through defensive lines.
Exactly. That deal with the devil comment really just reflects that deep cultural discomfort with, well, winning ugly.
Yeah. Though it's funny because internally, the story is completely different. Leinster boss Leo Cullen came out and vehemently defended Nienaber.
Oh, he did. He called him a genius.
Right. Cullen says they are incredibly lucky to have him and insists the playing group absolutely loves executing his methods.
So there's this profound disconnect between the boardroom and the grandstands. Management and players love the architecture Nienaber is building.
But for a coach at that elite level, you need psychological safety. You need alignment with the whole culture, not just the locker room.
Exactly. And if that alignment is missing and he feels unappreciated, it naturally accelerates his timeline to leave.
Which opens the door for a return to South Africa, where his specific brand of rugby is literally worshipped.
Oh, his DNA is deeply embedded in the Springboks culture.
Right. But before we get into the massive logistical puzzle of how you actually bring him back to the Bucks, I want to take a quick second here. Remember to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
Yes, please do.
And we really want to hear from you on this. Drop down into the comments and let us know your thoughts. Should Jacques Nienaber leave Leinster right now and return to the Bucks? Is the environment in Ireland too fractured, or should he just stay and finish the job? Let us know.
It's a tough call.
Yeah.
Because answering that requires looking at the Springboks' current coaching staff, which is highly complex right now.
Yeah, it's pretty crowded in there.
Very. We have to look at the timeline. We know a future void is opening because Tony Brown, the attack coach, is leaving after the 2027 World Cup.
Right. And a leading South African rugby administrator suggested that Felix Jones and Mzwandile Stick would naturally just step up into that role.
Exactly. If they absorb those attacking responsibilities, it theoretically clears the physical space and the budget for Nienaber to return.
Okay, sure. Structurally, that makes sense for the 2027 cycle, but let me push back on that logically.
Okay, go ahead.
We just established Nienaber is feeling undervalued today, right now. His Leinster contract expires before the 2027 international season starts.
That's true.
So if he leaves Leinster at the end of next year, how do you fit him into the box right now without just leaving him in a holding pattern? Because Rassie's current coaching room is like a perfectly tuned orchestra. Every chair is filled.
It is a totally saturated environment. You break down those chairs and it's full.
Right. You've got Dane Human meticulously running the scrums, Dion Davids handling the forwards and lineouts, Jerry Flannery is currently running the defense, and then you have Duan Vermeulen.
Yeah, Vermeulen's a really interesting layer. He was brought in as a Moby unit coach.
A Moby unit. Like a mobile unit.
Yeah, SA Rugby established this specialized group of technical experts who travel to the domestic franchises, like the Bulls and Stormers. Their job is to ensure tactical alignment from grassroots to the national team.
Oh, that's smart.
Very. Vermeulen leads that, but he's so influential that he's heavily integrated into the national team's daily operations now, too.
So you add him, plus Felix Jones, Mzwandile Stick, Tony Brown. There are literally 0 vacancies.
None.
So adding a former head coach back into that mix, that seems guaranteed to upset the harmony. I mean, human nature says there will be bruised egos. Jerry Flannery owns the defense right now.
Right. Having the guy who invented the system looking over his shoulder is a recipe for internal friction. You have to respect the guys currently in those roles.
So how do you do it?
Well, the administrator revealed this brilliant workaround. It bypasses the ego problem by relying on structure instead of traditional hierarchy.
Oh, manipulating the corporate structure. I love this. How does it work?
You deliberately avoid bringing Nienaber in as a primary assistant coach. You keep him out of the direct chain of command over Flannery. Instead, you bring him in as a general technical advisor.
Okay, general technical advisor totally sounds like a fake corporate title they invent to keep an executive out of the way.
It does sound like that. But in South African rugby history, that title carries massive weight. It's actually the exact blueprint Jake White used in the 2007 World Cup.
Wait, really? With Eddie Jones?
Yes. White had a settled staff, but knew he needed an analytical edge to win. He didn't fire anyone. He brought in Eddie Jones as a technical advisor to analyze systems from an overarching perspective.
And they lifted the Webb Ellis Cup without disrupting the chain of command. That is brilliant.
It's a proven blueprint. And the real key here is Rassie Erasmus himself, because he knows exactly how this feels from the inside.
Oh, right. Didn't he do this in 2011?
Exactly. Rassie was a technical advisor under Peter de Villiers. He provided high-level input without stepping on the actual assistant's toes.
Yeah.
He lived this. He knows what it's like to be the brilliant mind in a room where someone else is technically in charge.
So he's uniquely equipped to manage this. Nienaber would just focus on defense, assisting Jerry Flannery instead of replacing him.
Right. And the administrator had a perfect quote about this. He said, Rassie is a master at reading and understanding that stuff.
Meaning the ego management and team dynamic.
Exactly. He frames it not as a lack of faith in the current staff, but as an amplification of what they can all do together.
That is incredible. We always talk about Rassie's tactical stuff, you know, the traffic lights on the roof or that crazy 7-1 split on the bench where he brings on 7 massive forwards at the 50-minute mark.
Oh, yeah. Total physical dominance.
But his real superpower is people. He understands psychological management better than anyone.
He really does. And he knows Nienaber brings a phenomenal daily work ethic, encyclopedic knowledge, and he's a cultural unifier. He connects with the South African players on a visceral level.
So you build the structure around the genius, it solves the Leinster problem perfectly, bring the chef back home to a kitchen that actually wants his ingredients.
Exactly. But I want to leave you, the listener, with a final thought here. The administrator bluntly stated, defense wins World Cups, period.
A universal truth in knockout rugby.
Right. So consider that the Bokkers are actively evolving their attack right now with Tony Brown. They are becoming more fluid, expanding their game with the ball in hand.
Yeah, fixing the one thing critics said they lacked.
So ask yourself, if Rassie's Boks are evolving this fluid attack right now, what happens to the rest of the world if they manage to seamlessly bolt their ultimate defensive mastermind back onto the staff just in time for the next World Cup?
Oh, man. You combine a newly evolved attack with Nienaber's suffocating defensive wall. Who could possibly stop them?
Nobody. It's a terrifying prospect for everyone else.
That will keep opposition coaches awake at night for the next 3 years, seriously. What a fantastic breakdown of the tactics and psychology here. Thank you for walking us through that.
My pleasure.
And to you listening, this is exactly why we do these deep dives. We want to hear your perspective on this puzzle. Do you think the Eddie Jones blueprint is the perfect way to bring Nienaber back? Let us know in the comments. And please do not forget to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.